Hi, I'm Mr. Scotland, and I teach AP Comparative Government to seniors. I wanted to talk to you today because as seniors, you have a choice between whether to take regular government and economics and whether to take AP Comparative Government. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the differences between the two classes, as well as why you should take the course that I teach, which is AP Comparative Government. Even if you haven't taken an AP course before, an AP Social Studies course before, and you don't consider yourself on the quote unquote AP track, I still recommend you taking the class, and I'll talk to you why that is in just a second. So, as I said, as seniors, you have a choice between the two classes. And I wanted to give you a little bit of information about the two. First of all, there's a difference in the curriculum between the two. The government and economics class is one semester of government, United States government, and that has a focus on the national workings of our government. So you've got the executive branch, the presidency, and so forth, and you've got the legislative branch, which is Congress, the two houses of Congress, and then the judiciary branch, including a discussion on your rights under the first 10 amendments, as well as some of the other amendments that have been added later on. So it's a national focus, but there's also a pretty strong local component too, particularly revolving around civic action and what you can do on a local level in terms of improving the politics in your area, as well as sort of community voice. Then the second semester is economics. And when I say second semester, it doesn't have to be government first, economics second. Some of the classes teach it economics first and then government second. Economics is a one semester class, and that deals with the general workings of economics, both practical economics as well as more theoretical economics. For the AP Comparative Government class, it's a little bit more complicated. So the first week is democratic theory. So the idea of what makes a democracy and how do democracies come about. Then the next 6 weeks deals with economics, and our focus is on microeconomics, price, supply, demand, as well as macroeconomics, dealing with much larger entities, national and international entities. So we talk about international trade, we talk about banking, we talk about monetary policy. And then we have 6 weeks of United States government with a primarily national focus. And then after that, we have the AP Comparative Government curriculum, and that is dealing with 6 different countries in various stages of democratic consolidation or deconsolidation, as the case may be. And we spend 3 weeks on each country. Those countries are Great Britain, Russia, China, Mexico, Iran, and Nigeria. So that's the curriculum. That's the difference. The second is that there's a difference in workload. There is, in the AP Comparative Government class, far more reading, and there is also far more reading from college-level texts as well as college-level articles. So articles from places like the Economist, pop articles like the Economist or the Atlantic, but also more scholarly articles like Current History, Foreign Affairs magazine, and again, that reading is geared to the level of a college. There's also far more research and writing involved. So in the fall for AP Comparative Government, there are 2 research papers, short ones, 3 to 5 pages. Well, actually, it's more like 4 to 5 pages. One is on economics and one is on government. And in the spring, there's a much longer 12 to 15 page research paper on a topic of your choice dealing with some sort of international event or concept or country that you are interested in. So that's another difference, so that the workload is a difference. So why should you take AP Comparative Government? Why should you, as a senior, subject yourself to an AP course in your senior year? Well, I have 3 reasons. The first is AP Comparative Government is, I think, the most dynamic course in the school. And when I say dynamic, I mean that it is constantly changing. It's not only dealing with changes in U.S. government, which obviously in the last 4 years we've seen a lot of changes to both laws as well as norms in American government, but also international government. So, for example, we just went through a huge change in Great Britain, where Britain was in the European Union and Britain now is out of the European Union in a process called Brexit. So that makes it both challenging to teach, but also extremely interesting to learn. You'll be, in addition to being introduced to things like Brexit, events like Brexit, you'll be introduced to people like Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping, who recently constructed constitutional amendments in their countries to extend their term of control of their governments indefinitely. And that's something that was actually done after our textbook went to publication. So literally, the course is changing under our feet. But you'll also look into the changing nature of democracy in places like Nigeria and in Mexico, where democracy in both places are in its infancy, and both have been met by various challenges, and we'll be taking a look at those challenges. So that's the first reason. The second is that it keeps you in shape for college intellectually. So a lot of you who are listening play some sort of sport or play some sort of instrument, and you know that if you take time off from playing piano for a year, or you take time off from playing lacrosse or soccer for a year, don't go to the gym, don't run, when you go back, you're hurting and your instrument doesn't sound that good because you have your skills have atrophied a little bit. This course, because it's intellectually challenging, is designed to keep you in shape and ready to hit the ground running when you get to college. And that's college no matter where you're going, whether it's DVC, whether it's UC Davis, or whether it's Harvard or Dartmouth or Duke University. And then the third big reason is that there is a possibility for AP credit. We've done very well in this class in terms of scoring on the AP test. Most years I get about 15% of my students who've never taken a social studies AP class before. Yet despite that, our pass rate is at 94%, and we get about 80% of the students score 4 or 5 on the test. And again, that's with about 15% of the students never having taken a social studies AP course before. Why should you care about that? Because the more AP credits you accumulate before getting into college, the earlier your registration time. Why should you care about that? Because the earlier your registration time is in college, the higher probability you will get the courses you want. A lot of courses get locked out, particularly for underclass students like first years and sophomores. And you don't want to be locked out. In fact, it's actually a really good thing to go into college as a first year, but with sophomore standing. That will serve you well. So those are my reasons for taking the AP CompGov class. If you have any other questions, I'd be happy to hear from you individually. So you can email me at the school, jscotland, that's SCHOTTLAND. It's kind of a strange spelling, at auhsdschools.org. I'd be happy to respond to you. I'd be happy also to send you a sample of what the textbook looks like in terms of the reading level. Read through it, see if it's something that's interesting to you, and see if it's at a level that you can deal with. And then we'll go from there. Thank you for listening to me, and I look forward to hearing from you.